Welcome everybody to our BG5 Live. And today it's September 29th, episode 72. Wow. And we're going to talk about a beautiful trait, trait 18. And of course, I have it in my design. No, it's interesting. It's actually, in the logical circuitry. So yeah, that's something I know a bit about. And it's about the inability to correct, So it is survival through suffering. But before we get started, let's get our panel introduced. So hello, welcome, Chris.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Yay. And Leanne.
Hello, hello, peeps.
Trying to keep the eyes open.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, being busy, yeah? A true express builder day.
Yes.
Yeah. And Rob, hi, welcome Rob from your beautiful theater.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. Hi, everybody.
Starring Rob Thomas in the Rob Thomas Show. Yay!
I was so curious what you last week said that you know, or one of the actual participants that was here live that said, "Oh, now you're sounding or starting to do like last week." So now I'm here without Karen. So I'm curious what will happen. All right, so let's dive in. So we have been taking a look at journeying through duality, and we're actually now going into the kind of second part of duality, which is an interesting one because we are traveling through the survival instinct. So in a row, all of the 7 survival instinct traits are now going through our background frequency. So we start with correction, the trait 18, an instinct for imperfection and correction. So that's what we will be talking about today. And then as we move through, so next week we will talk about depth, a deep well of instinctual wisdom, intuitive insight in the 57, a deep instinctive attunement to sound. Continuity in the 32, an instinct for what can be transformed. Values in the trait 50, an instinct for the integrity of laws. And the game player, trait 28, an instinct for struggles worth fighting for. And finally, alertness in the 44, an instinct for what is beneficial for a group. So it says here, October themes of survival. We're almost in October, and then like the 7th one is actually in November. But right around October, we are traveling through all of the survival instinct traits. So Leanne, as we are kind of getting used to you doing the weather forecast for looking at the transits actually, and the strength of socialness and the strength of the individual process is actually with us for quite a while, right?
Yes. Awareness, creative process, that's with us for pretty much the whole year. I believe it needs to be so that we can really be able to take a look at our world and recognize that experience is one thing and experimenting is one thing, but the actual truth comes from being empowered and your full connection with yourself. So there's 3, those 3 aspects of the collective and the individual and the tribal, and it really is about that connection to self. So awareness is going to help us walk us right through all of 2020 and what mutations are happening. What can we be aware about? Be aware of the mutations, see the mutations, recognize those mutations, see what's happening logically, see what's happening experimentally, and just be able to recognize it. That's really, it's there to help us because 2020 is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. And through October, we have the survival awareness, the instinctual awareness as well, right? So we have the emotional awareness and the mental awareness. And through October also the survival instinct. I can't imagine what it will bring. I already get like so just know we're powered up by our background frequency, right? So anybody else would like to share? And I see you smiling, Chris. So
Oh, I'm just smiling. So trait 50 is my conscious sun. So my birthday's in October, and just chuckling to myself, little inside joke about themes of survival. Just, over here going, yep, that about sums up where we're heading and what's going on as we make our way towards the election here in the United States. And just, again, watching the mutation and what's happening, and watching for the patterns, and that knowing that drops in through as I love the way you said that, Leanne, there's the experience and the experiment, and what we're doing is bringing together the two. I think that was brilliant. So yeah, it'll be fun to see what happens.
yeah. So we will be traveling through this in the coming month, through all of the traits of survival instinct. And with all of the awareness functions, there's also a aspect of fear or anxiety. And here it is in survival, right? So that's what we will be taking looking at as we go through each of the traits. So we start off with trait 18, an instinct for imperfection and correction. So when you have trait 18, or as we can feel now from the background frequency, you enjoy discovering, naming, and challenging what needs to correcting. Also, you are the perfect person to have around when we are trying to see what is wrong and what needs to be improved. I'm just giggling. This is just things that I get asked for, yes. So when you experience dissatisfaction with something, chances are it has lost its vitality. And vitality, joyous vitality, is actually the 58 on the other side. So that's, where you have an instinct that it has lost its vitality. You may have a fear of authority and at the same time a desire to challenge authority. And be careful about being too critical personally. So by judging yourself or judging others, as this circuitry, this energy is collective. It is not so much to judge yourself or judge the other, but it's more the imperfections or that you notice, or things that need to be improved in the collective, in the patterns, in the logical patterns. So anything for our panel that you'd like to share about this?
Yes.
Yes. Bob.
Do you have a couple of hours?
Oh, please.
Oh, good, good. So I wanted to make Leanne laugh, and I did. So check. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
It's just a shame I don't have an audience behind me, but that's cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, I, Rob Thomas, possess the 18, and boy, howdy, do I have some stories for you on each one of these bullet points. I love, and it's almost so like when you have the 18, and for me, it's a big part of my life work. So it's where I'm grounded, right? And so it's almost as if the entire world, the things that need to be corrected, like they're easily seen by me. I don't need to dig and find out. Sometimes I do, but most of them either have like a Post-it note attached to them, like fix this, or they've been, fluorescent in color, or they're just over here like, hey, help me out over here, right? So, and this trait is pulsing through my being all of the time. Like, it doesn't turn off. It's insatiable. So I could do all the correcting in the world. I could fix everything. And then something else would pop up. because the pulse is there, right? So it's almost like chicken and the egg thing, right? But if you'll go back to the slide, there was something else I wanted, one slide back.
Yeah.
So that's that, you know, that pulsating feeling of correction and what needs correcting. I've known my whole life that I was supposed to be a consultant. I'm literally asking for 2 hours, by the way, but I knew I was going to be a consultant, but I never knew, like, consult people on what, right? Like what? But for me, my greatest value, and when I was younger, I was actually criticized for it because they're like, you know, Rob, you always find what's wrong. I'm like, yeah. But when you turn it into a professional, you know, valuable resource, that's good, because some people sit in a company for so long that they're blind, they can't see what's wrong, right? They're that frog in boiling water. So I am the perfect person to call whenever you need to see what's wrong and what needs improvement. And luckily I found BG5. It really found me, ladies and gentlemen. It dropped out of the sky into my lap. But because now I know consult people on what, because this stuff is my jam. We all know this from the you know, the videos and everything I've been talking about on those Friday interviews. But this third bullet point right here, I'm literally asking for 2 hours, Natalie.
I'm sitting back, you know, we'll
everyone
just
relax.
do like this after you.
You know what? Grab your popcorn.
I was just gonna say,
join me in the movie
popcorn,
theater.
man. If we're gonna do this, I need a soda and a popcorn. Can somebody go to the concession stand and just give me some junior mints too while you're there, man?
Exactly. Oh, and Leanne is showing something. What is that? Is that a cinnamon roll?
Bring it closer to the video.
Yeah, it goes
Little bit
in and
closer.
out with your.
Ooh, yeah, she's got snacks. She's got a bag
Oh,
of
she got
snacks.
snacks.
It's popcorn. It is popcorn.
Oh,
It's caramel popcorn.
You know what would have been really
even
funny
better.
is if Natalie said, you know, so does anybody have anything they'd like to say? And I just come in, we say this in America, so if you're not from America, you may not have heard this, but I just say, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Missed opportunity. Next time we come back around to the 18, I'll do it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So this third bullet point, y'all thought it was going to go down a rabbit trail. I brought us right back. It's all good. When the thrill is gone, the thrill is gone. It cannot be salvaged. Once this is turned off, once I'm dissatisfied, and I could give you several jobs. Like if you were to look at my resume and you were interviewing me, the first thing you'd say is, you hop around a lot. To which I would say, the thrill was gone. It was gone. And then to which they would say, well, what's going to happen when the thrill's gone with me? And I would say, I'll leave you. Fair, right? So why would I want to stick with something and be miserable? You know, doesn't make sense. But when it has lost its vitality, it is gone, and I magically move on to the next thing, which actually, you know, all of these bullet points feed into my public role, which is I'm a 1-3, trial and error is my way. I'm going to go out and bang around into life, and it's going to bang around into me. And if you don't like how my resume looks, then sorry. But that's how it looks. And it's just my opinion of my own work anyway. So, and then the fear of authority. This is a fun one. This is fun. This provides a lot of entertainment for a lot of people. You don't even need to be directly involved.
The popcorn.
In the past, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, yeah, but we that over there, like, but I didn't say anything. Now, if you want to fast forward one slide, Natalie, I'll show everybody what this really plays with. So this fear of authority, it's really been a big shadow and distraction for me professionally because of that white, open emotional intelligence, that gaping hole right there. That is essentially, I avoid confrontation and truth. You know, I was the employee that would say yes when it was really no. But I didn't want to upset you, and I didn't want to lose my job, and I was afraid of my, you know, bosses or whatever. So that's been difficult for me in my work life, especially before I became aware of this mechanic happening within me, right? So, but now, now that I'm aware of it, I just face things head on. I'm not perfect with it. I don't do it every time, but that's definitely something that's real. And then Natalie, if you'll go back another slide, there you go. This last one's a real doozy. It's so okay, confession time.
You haven't been doing
We
that
already
yet?
had.
I cannot wait. Go
Yeah.
on, bring it, man. Bring it.
I know.
Mic drop, mic drop. Go.
This has been awesome,
I
by
mean,
the way. I just want to tell you, I'm learning something about a really good friend of mine who has the same incarnation cross as you, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is explaining so much. So go.
Awesome.
Go.
Good. So back to confession time. Since we're all in the tree of trust, I'm just going to share another bit with you. I'm critical on myself. So I don't use this properly in that I turn it in on myself. It's not even a gift for me. It's a gift for all of you. It's something I'm supposed to, of me that I'm supposed to give to others. So it's best used in organizations. It's best when companies call me and say, hey, will you come help us figure out this people problem or this structure problem or this or that and help us get everything in flow. That's how it's supposed to be used. It's not supposed to be used in your sales meeting sucked, you suck, your business plan sucked, blah, blah, blah. By the way, the house is dirty and your car is dirty. Like everyone else in Dallas has a clean car. What's your problem, dude? So that's probably the best way that I can animate those 5 points for you.
Well, thank you.
And we're done. And we're done?
Yeah,
cut.
exactly.
And we are
We can-
today.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Yeah,
That was
well, the
awesome.
self-critical part, so I have it too in my design. And then, and Leon as well, but we'll get to Leon. So I have it twice in Truth and Transformation, and I say it is the correction generation, and Leon will explain this a little later because we're from the same generation. And but I'm also very, very self-critical. So you can either be very sensitive to the critic of others, right? Or too self-critical, which is I literally had in my previous counseling, whatever. So it was like, no, it has to be 200%, otherwise cannot do. And I just shared with Rob, I was working on these slides, how long? Like about a few hours just for these few slides because of this and that and da. And then, yeah, the perfectionist in me comes up. Yeah, so that's just what happens. That's just what happens. So I think we can move on to the quality and then come to Leon, as Leon has it in the quality actually. So today's quality is the quality 4, the incompetent. And I was kind of amazed by, right? It's the influencer influencing their networks about the correction, and then they're incompetent. So Leon will explain all about this. So it says difficulties as a result of inadequacies that cannot be resolved because of inadequacies. So kind of interesting phrase in and of itself. The elevation is the inability to correct and its potential for suffering. Given this negative position, survival through suffering. And the challenge, the demands of correction and its potential to generate anxiety, indecision and anxiety, and no escape from misfortune.
Yeesh.
So Leon, I hold your beer. And let's go.
Well, you really don't need popcorn for me, but thank you, Rob, for your dissertation of your strength there. I love that. So for me, the incompetent, well, it's my truth and my transformation. So it's just recognizing that there are just some things in my life that I cannot correct on my own, that I need to have people consult and come in and bring that energy into my world so that whatever needs to be corrected, there's like therapy happening here, right? That they can help me through that, whatever it is. because I can't do it on my own. And I will repeat and repeat and repeat that same pattern, trying to correct it and not being able to. And pure manifesting generator / express builder, I'm moving so fast that I will bump up against that same thing often and shake my head and go like, how the hell did I get here so quickly? But now I recognize what I have to reach out and what I have to bring in, what I have to ask people to help me with, because I cannot change it on my own. I just can't. So that's really what the Incompetent is all about. It's not good, bad, right, wrong. It's just an aspect that's why we are in this together. That's why the collective is there. We are not an island. We are designed to have people come and help us and consult with us and use their skills and talents in our world. And that's really what we teach at the BG5 Institute, is that, partnership, know yourself, but partnerships and small business and large business, we are in this together. So that's really what the Incompetent looks like for me. And for me, it's not really a suffering. I bump up against it and go, here I am again. And I know at that moment, I have to just bring people in to help.
Beautiful.
I love that, Leanne.
Yeah.
That, again, it explains so much. And I'm thinking about a dear friend and colleague and who has this. And I'm also thinking about just bringing us back to, this is in bonding, right? And so it is about relationships, and it's sharing, it's collective. So it is, it's not individual. This isn't an individual transformation and empowerment. It is about the other. And I think the suffering comes when I've seen with my clients, I don't have the 18 or the 58, but I've seen with my clients where they internalize it and then they try to figure it out, and they don't ask for help, and they don't seek to get an outside opinion or or just support or just share and have that dialogue, and they turn it inward, and then they think they have, and especially with an individual circuitry, it's sort of like, I got this, I don't need anybody. It's like, it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Yeah. And like Rob said, there's a lot of vitality there, being aware and having that awareness as to what does still hold vitality. If I'm incompetent and it cannot be changed, does it actually need to be changed? Where's the vitality in that? Am I changing it because the collective told me I needed to change it? Or is the vitality still there and it's okay to move on with my inadequacies? So, you can throw those keynotes however you want to. It's just about watching how the body moves and what I'm responding to. That's really how to get around it, I guess, how to not have it hold me back from what I'm designed to do. So.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for that, because I learned a lot today. the details of especially qualities. We have 64 traits, and then each trait has 6 qualities. So we have 384 variations. And before you really, ground into each variation, so this is a great way going through these BG5 lives and really, tuning in, diving into one of the qualities. So and it's great if we know somebody or have it ourselves to be able to share about it. Yeah, so I love that. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you, and I don't know if you feel open to that, since myself, I have the 18 in, so I'm 46 years old right now, and Leon is right around somewhere over there as well. And so there's a whole generation that has of my age that has the 18 in their truth and transformation. So I believe so a trait travels through truth and transformation in about 2 or 3 years. Leon, do I say that correctly?
I'm going to have to look here, but like truth and transformation, which is Pluto, takes a very long time. I'm pretty sure I think it's 3 years. Like I want to, I'm going to have to pull up my information, but I don't have that on the top of my head. As you can see that, Inspiration, conceptualization's wide open there. So, you know, I never know what's in there.
No, exactly. Not in the top of your head, no. And
No.
neither on the mountain behind you or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. No, so, but I find it interesting. I remember Ra talking about this in one of the things I listened to, that you can truly see the whole generation having this theme, right? So yeah, I'm all about, you know, and it's my format strength as well, about, you know, perfecting and improving and logic. It's you know, and it's the kind of the, how would you call truth and transformation, kind of a foundational layer or something?
Ass kicker.
Sorry?
Ass kicker.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and again, it's challenging authority.
Right.
So you have many of us, I just turned 45, so 45, 46 in there, that our whole lives have been to either challenge it or abdicate to it.
Yeah.
Right? So we're constantly waving on that. And when we do challenge it, there can be a correction there.
Yeah.
So if we were even to look at the protests and the riots all happening right now, and actually look at the generation that's most likely out there doing that, it's going to be that generation where, you know, we've had enough. You're taking away our livelihoods, you're doing blah, 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 right? People are standing up to these big organizations because that's the times that we're in. That whole thing's changing from planning to individuality. So it's that, you know, 45-year-olds that are saying, no more. We've worked, we have families to feed. We're going to push up against it. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I find it fascinating. So, yeah. So you also can take a look at that, you know, like from generations, they talk about the generation Z and the generation whatever, right? So you can see the theme for that generation going forward. So, yeah. Interesting. Are there any questions? And I see some, or is
I
there...
do have a question. How does it show up for you, Natalie?
Well, I am truly, I was like, yes. So I'm Dutch, and as Dutch, how do we say, you have your tongue is speaking, or I don't know what you say your truth, right? We are quite bold. And so this trait, literally in challenging, I thought I never ever felt hierarchy. Like I don't do hierarchy. Like I would just walk up to my boss or the boss of the boss or whatever and just go like da 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 da. You know, it doesn't work. It's not logical. We need to change the process. Whatever. And I literally don't feel I feel like I'm in my right to say so, because it is inefficient. So yeah, and it's not always been you know, it didn't land always so well, but yeah, also I've had real true, you know, wonderful managers that I could collaborate with a lot. And then the other aspect I really feel is the self-judgment, and it's way better right now. I'm so grateful for this information, and I can let life flow. But yeah, so the self-critic is like, that's, you know, that's my monkey mind. That's just, you know, yeah. So having the format as well, right, of this same circuitry, that's, yeah, it's a biggie. So yeah, that's how it shows up for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So Pluto is in a gate for 1,413.71 days.
Oh, right. That's the years. I'm not I'm not so good in calculations, but it is about 3 years, right? 360. Yeah. So yeah,
Almost
about 3
4,
years.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something. What are they doing in the theater? I see you bump up. So yeah.
Give me a
It was an earthquake. I'm okay though.
Good.
But we need to hurry up. I need to go correct it.
All right, so yeah, I had a little hard time finding a celebrity, but actually the one I found, I'm quite cheerful with. So you may or may not know her, Martha Crawford. I didn't know her. She's an environmental engineer, and she has the life work of service, which is having the 4-6. So with the life work of service, you are part of the ongoing process of correcting and perfecting the archetypes of male, female, father, mother, opinions and corrections in service to humanity by working to make what is good better. So what I loved about her, she lived in France for quite a long time. She's half French, half American. And she was one of the very few women and Americans, so very few women in and of itself, and really a handful of Americans that were in the upper ranks of the French business industry, or the business. So in a 2010 survey, it showed that only 37% of the workforce in France were women and no female CEOs. So she was like really, in there. So she had various positions from 2018 to 2015, all in whatever head of or vice president or director or management board of research and development and innovation, which is fascinating because she actually has the 3, which is in the large business OC16 about, innovation and research and development. And then she has a large business strength of logical enforcement as well. So, and then all of her other strengths are logical as well, right? So it's all about, perfecting, correcting in environment. And she now, so she works in major French companies. Arevea is the French state company for nuclear development or whatever, and Air Liquide is also something environmental. And then and now she's focused on education. So she was a faculty member of Harvard Business School, and currently she is the dean of Welch College of Business and Technology at Sacred Heart University. And the interesting part over there is that even the education itself is innovative. So she is this Welch College of Business and Technology is a pioneering and integrative approach to business and technology education. So they aim to graduate business leaders who are technologically literate, or and computer scientists and engineers who are business literate. So they have a strong emphasis on creativity, problem-based learning, entrepreneurship now, and it goes on and on and on. It's really beautiful. I got this from her LinkedIn, actually from her own description, but it's so wonderful how her career speaks her design, right? I was like, wow. And then the archetype of male, female, father, mother, I was thinking about that, but in the perfecting and correcting of the archetypes and humanity, there is a balance about the feminine and masculine energy that we are kind of in the midst of finding out how to balance that out, right? So it's I found it fascinating. So I don't know if the panel has any comments.
That's really cool. I love that. And it goes back to, like I'll say, our design does us, and we look and see that it's moving through us. And it oftentimes when we're looking at somebody's design, we're just showing them why their life is doing, like, when they're in resonance, or when they're congruent or in alignment with their design, it just shows up. You see it. And if somebody's way the heck off, they're not going to be happy. There's no joyous vitality in that. There's just none. Like, it's, and clearly this has vitality for her. Everywhere she's going, she's following that vitality thread. So
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think, yeah, Rob, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, I'm glad you grabbed, someone who's not as known or popular per se, right? This is fascinating. Is a perfect example. And yes, just like Chris said, I mean, that this is just a clear example of the design doing its work. I also find it fascinating. She has the 1762. I have that as well. So I can absolutely relate with that. She loves to share her opinions backed by details. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
it's her communication. Yeah. And it's strong, right? Yeah. It's a fascinating design anyway. Yeah. Yeah. And then her inner knowing, huh? Yeah.
And
So,
she's still alive, so that's even a bonus. You can go to LinkedIn and check it out. So
yeah.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
is, she's PhD, right? Behind her name. So that's how you can find her. Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Natalie.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alrighty. You can get your free report if you're interested in this information and you'd like to know how your design does you. On our website, so visit bg5businessinstitute.com. You can also watch our past episodes in the free resource library, and also watch the BG5 discussions with Rob. Could Things Happen on Friday in the BG5 episodes as well. Yes, Rob.
Can I make a shameless plug?
yes, please.
So stay tuned, because tomorrow Leanne and I will go live on Facebook, and we'll have it's going to be a cool conversation. I don't want to give any details away right now, but we're going to both act
Because
in
we
response.
don't have any. No, just kidding.
So I could throw one out, but last time Leanne was like, why don't we just go with the flow? And it worked out really well. So it'll be on something specific, and it'll be fun. And yeah.
You get her to laugh, right?
And we'll get her to laugh. I definitely will.
Cool. Yeah. And talking about Leon is going to start a foundation course intensive next week,
Yes.
Tuesday, right?
Yes.
And the first class is free. So if you'd like to check it out, and if you have this Express Builder energy, or not, but you feel like you want to take it in fast,
Yeah.
independent assimilation or whatever, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, you can do the foundation course like in the fall, and then be ready to go into certification in January if you want to proceed on.
Yep.
So wonderful to check it out, the Express Builder Energy in Action 1.3 trial and error. Press the record button.
Yes.
Have somebody press the record button. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just joking, guys. So we have a new recording from Leanne for her free webinar that she did last week, and we will send it out by our newsletter. So she forgot to press the record button. Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
No worries. That's how it goes. So
That is how it goes. Incompetent, whatever.
You can suffer or not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
No suffering.
recording it, right?
So thank you all for being here, and I'd love to ask you all in the panel if you have something like last words or something to take away from today into next week, in this week, and into the survival instinct. So who would like to go first? Let's do Rob.
So again, everybody, this trait of the 18. It's for the collective. It's for the other. We do things together. No man or woman survives alone. This is not an island type of thing. And if you have the 18, also don't apply it in your marriage.
I did probably. I'm divorced. No. Sorry.
Love it. Love it.
That's a mic drop right there.
Yeah.
Don't apply it in your marriage. That's good. I'll say something. So, yeah. So again, this is kind of piggybacking on what Rob was saying, that this is not something that you turn inward either and try to figure out yourself. You know, it's really about have someone else help you to discern what is worthy of correcting and what is just not yours to correct. It's just not worth your time, your energy, your life force energy, and use your decision-making strategy to really get clear on that. And since we all are in this energy right now, there might be things in your life or your business that we can tap into. Like I even look at it and go, oh, I have some energy to look at my systems and see what systems need to be corrected. Where is the energy falling down here or there? Because I don't typically have this. Now I have some energy to go ahead and see those things and make some corrections, you know, this week, and hire people that can help me do that. So that's another great way to use this energy, whether you have it defined or not.
Excellent. Yeah. And yeah, just be aware what is vital and what isn't. That's really, if it isn't vital, let it go. You know, you don't need to be like a dog with a bone and keep chewing on it. Just let it go.
Yeah. So job hopping is how do you say that? Authorized.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So what piggybacking on you, Chris, it is a projected strength. So if you have it defined for yourself, it needs to be invited, right, to be shared. So that was something else that just popped into my mind. And I'm always wondering how I will see it show up in the world, right? So that's something I will look for, and you may want to look for as well, you know. So exactly as Leon mentioned, that the generation of correction is now standing up and not taking it anymore, right? So how the systems operate and things like that showing up in the news. So it's fascinating, and we will fight for survival this month.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful week. And
thanks, friends.
Next week, Karen is also on having a break. And actually, I didn't even mention this. She is having a break this week as well. She actually is in the airplane right now, so she couldn't make it. And next week, she's coming back. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. And we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.